how we approached is that first we chose Python as a language for bot as already knew Python, and instead of hosting it on the local system, we used Replit to host it on a web server, and also we used JSON to protect info such as bot ID, etc. And then we devised an algorithm for the bot to follow while playing snakes and ladders, and we implemented it in Python. After that, we added stuff like GIFs, quotes, etc. And we actually tested the bot with 2 players, 3 players, and 4 players, and we encountered a lot of bugs, but we fixed it on the way. So the basic this thing before starting is like when you press $game, it will start and it will check the number of players. If there's only one player, it will wait for more players to join. If there's more than one player and less than 4 players, uh, it will ask confirmation to join. If we do not say yes, it will wait till more people join. If 4 players are reached, then it will automatically join. And the turn algorithm is first it will roll the die and then it will add the position. So the bot checks if the position is greater than 100. If it is greater than 100, then it will go back to the previous position, that is before the die was cast. Also, it will check if it reaches 100. If it reaches 100, then the game ends. And when if it is less than 100, if it encounters triggers of snakes or ladders, if it's snakes, and then it will update the destination of the user to the bottom of the snake, and if it ladders, it will update the destination to the top of the ladders, and then the turn ends, and then the next player's turn starts. Once a player reaches 100, the game will end. So these are some pics of our gameplay. The first pic is the starting of the gameplay, and the second is the picture of where the ladders and snakes are located. Sorry for the typo here. We noticed it late, so it was after 7 o'clock today morning. We noticed it, so we couldn't change it since the deadline was 7. And if you roll, say, and when it's another person's turn, if you press this command, you'll just get this. It's not your turn, and it'll add a GIF for that. If it is ladder, it'll show the GIF in the fourth picture. If it's snake, it will look like the fifth picture, and the win scenario is like the sixth picture. And our code is available in this GitHub repo. Thank you.
Hi Kartike. First of all, good morning. And you did a great job, as I can say. The app and the complete orientation and everything was perfect. So may I know what will happen if more than one play, like 4 player, try to play that game?
It'll just show maximum player limit reached. Please try again.
So, like, what is the thought process behind it? Like, why it is a snake and ladder game. So basically, anyone and everyone can play it. And why there is a player limit? Like, if I build that stuff, I'll keep the player limit to 10 to 20 or anything, right? So why you put that player limit to 4 only?
Yeah, generally the
Sir,
snake and ladder.
the reason we did that is because we didn't want, since it's a chat-based thing, if a lot of players come, then the whole chat will become extremely cluttered. So it'll become too hard for you to like keep a track of your own positions. Let's say I have some 10 people. Then the first person has to wait for more 9 turns to come back, and the game will become very boring. Or if it's a server with hundreds of people and everyone registers for the snake and
Yeah, we
it'll
actually
become
played
to a
other
continuous
games on.
situation where you have to wait for 100 people to complete the turns, then your turn comes.
Yeah, so we actually played
So
other games
he,
on Discord bot, and if it's too many players, it'll actually get a bit say monotonous after some time. So we decided the ideal limit was four.
Yeah, great. I like this thought process that you want to protect others from spamming. And second thing, I really like that you keep understanding that, yeah, we have to just limit this feature to this much of numbers. So this is really important when you are building something, no matter whether it's a hackathon-based project or a startup product. So we have to like I really impressed by this choice that you have put efforts to limit yourself and build that. That's great. Anyone else? If you have any question, please go ahead.
Hey folks, I just had one question. Like, are the locations of the ladders in Snake like hard coded? Like your grid is hard coded, or does it change every time you like start a new game or something?
It changes
so
every
like
time. So
every time the game is started, it sees with the current date and time, the random number generator.
Got it. Okay,
So that way.
cool. Thanks.
Hey, hi, this is Moinam Chatterjee out here. I have a few questions for the team and also to the presenters, to the hosts of the event. Is it possible for them to run the bot and show it as in a live presentation, or that feature or that possibility is unavailable at the moment?
Mhm. If you want, we can show,
yeah, but it really depends on the
the
presentation.
post
As
permission.
a team, we don't have any problem.
Um, Hosts,
Like
Sanket, do we have the, is it possible?
Ankit, are you here with us?
Yes, I just joined. I'll just get back in a moment.
Okay,
Yeah,
cool.
I just
Till the
I
time,
just joined.
yeah,
yeah, it'll
sure.
be
Till the
easier for
time,
all the judges if we can have the uh, demo of all the teams.
cool. Okay, so till the time, I have a few questions. First of all, again, great job as the other judges have already told you in a hackathon. Doing, you always have scenarios which you think about before you start any project. Let it be an hackathon or let it be a normal product. So kudos to you guys. Why did you think that Python was the best possible programming language for your application
Sir, we did
for
not
this
think
concept?
that Python was the best, but we already knew Python and we had already made a bot for our own server with Python, so we thought we could complete it very easily.
so like we
Okay.
already had the experience with the Discord.py interface with Python. So going with that is would have been more time efficient for us.
Other than the player constraints of four which you have added, what are the other safe locks which you have kept in the bot so that the stability of the bot can be maintained? Is there any
Like,
other way? Is there any other thought process to maintain
uh,
your stability of the bot?
so first is the turn thing. So if it's a one person's turn and someone else puts the command roll it.
Mhm.
So to prevent so the bot first like tells him it's not your turn and then does not update it. That's one prevention which you put so that the game runs as expected. Then another thing is let's say one game is going on and someone else wants to start another game. So it'll be so during that case, the bot just tells them that please wait, a game is going on, and once that game gets over, they can start the game on their own later. So
So
like
those,
once
so
it's
those
over,
are
they can
your
start the game.
prevention measures, right?
Yes.
Okay, I think majority of my questions would be once we can see the main working of the chat, of the bot. But good work, guys. Thank you.
I've given in the Discord server, I've given the respective bot adding roles to team leaders and people who have nominated themselves on the form. You can add you can add your bot on the Discord server and I will send the link for the Discord server.
Can we run the bot in the server now?
Should we do it now or after everyone's turns complete or something?
What I'll suggest, I think we should give 1 or 2 minutes for everyone to show the demo, then 5 minutes for presentation, and 3 to 4 minutes for Q&A. So, like in this way, a complete presentation would be analyzed.
Yeah, so keep a 10-minute slot, 10 to 15 minute slot. I think we have the time. So keep a 10 to 15 slot. I think they're already done with the presentations. Once the presentation is done, they can show their Discord bot, the link, and they can share their screen out here. And then once that is done, we will ask them questions and we will move on to the next thing. Sounds good?
Agree? Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Cool. Then let's go ahead with that.
Yes, sir.
So, should we share a screen now to display the bot?
Yes, please show your demo. Yeah.
Yeah,
Karthik, first, just show the online bot on the right-hand side. So there's a very nice feature for it.
is the bot online? Can you run it? It's
Should.
offline.
I don't think so. You're doing this time. Come to the our post message. Show it there.
Oh, it's still not online.
It's online. Or it's on. No, error in the so it'll be online now. Sorry, sir. Yeah, I started the wrong program. Please wait for 30 seconds when the server initializes. So like when the bot comes online, you will see this playing $help. So like when you go to normal bots, you'll find that they have some kind of help command. So that is usually shown as playing something. Karthik, let's start again.
Shall I start it in this channel only?
Fine. Anything.
So first I'll start with him. You can see the commands here. So Krutik, can you also play the game? Yes, start.
Only the first person who started the game can say yes or no. This is the game board. Now it's my turn to roll. Now if I try to roll on his turn, now my turn came. Now if I try to run on a Karthik's turn, I'll get this message that it's not my turn. Now let Karthik load.
If I want to check the game board in the middle, I can check it like using this command, and then I can roll the dice.
Yes. This is the case. Now if
So if
I
another
say,
person tries to start the game when the game is already running, this happens.
and if I press continue rolling, and if I forfeit in between, then that means the number of players is not two anymore. So the game will automatically end saying that uh, it was my turn is over.
But if there are actually three players, it will just remove the person who forfeited from the game and the game will continue. Since there are only two players and we can't continue with just one player, the game will end.
Okay, a few questions out here.
Yeah.
Was it possible for you to show an actual snake and ladder board? And if you are to do that, how will you make that change?
Sir, we had actually set a fixed board, like a fixed board for all the games. But
Mhm.
then we actually received a message like at 9 p.m. That was a surprise element that there should be a different board for different game, and we had like very less time for that. So we
Mhm.
couldn't actually make a different board for different game.
So when you say a different board, what type of thinking process did it strike in your mind?
So the different board generally means different snakes and different ladders.
Mhm.
So what we did is we varied the number of snakes and ladders from 10 to 15.
Mhm.
Uh, it's the combined number, and that is also random. And then we generated random numbers, which is say if there's like 12 total of snakes and ladders, we generated random of 24 numbers and assigned two of them like in couples randomly and assigned them as snakes and ladders.
Okay, yeah, I get it. So for an example, if at the moment, if I say that I'm going to give you 40 to 50, PNG or JPEG files of different boards, and you can maybe map the snakes at different locations, however it is. How will
Okay.
you take that input and put it in your bot so that we can see a graphical representation? Any thoughts?
So like we can create like how game boards are done. We can map our we can create small rectangles and whatever in the board
Uh-huh.
every
Uh-huh.
single time when we encounter when we like update our place. When we did had a fixed board, we thought of doing that, but then like displaying an image every time we felt that it might get a bit cluttered because as you can see with just two images saying that it's your current position and the next position is calling the next position person to come and take its turn. So it's
Uh-huh.
already almost on its verge of getting cluttered. So we didn't want to take a risk of making it too ugly. And like although it'll be more useful to the user, but then like if it keeps on sending too many images, we didn't feel like
The
it
bot also might get
good
a
enough.
bit hectic.
Yeah.
Um,
The service chat will be very uh, clumsy type. That's what we felt. So that's why we made
Okay,
the game board as a separate command. Like if you need it, you can see it. Okay.
cool. Kudos, guys. Great job. Thank you.
thanks.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, judges. And so moving on, next bot is Spooky Snake Bot by Kirtan Gowda. Yes. I hope Kirtan is here. I guess the participant is not here, so moving on. So this is the third bot, that is Mokshapat by Vishalyam.
I could can
Yeah.
I present?
Yes, please start.
Yeah, okay. Is my screen visible?
Yeah, it is being
Not
shared.
yet. Yeah, now.
Thank you. Yeah. We're starting the presentation. So, very good morning to all of you. Our team name is Team Mokshapat. So, like, first to give a gist of why we gave this name to our team. Like, as per history, Snake and Ladder game was invented in ancient India. So that was called Mokshapat. So that is something which inspired us to name our team in this way. So coming to our members, I'm Vishalam. Along with me, we have Shreyash Gupta and Prajwal Prakash. So we'll keep the presentation very minimal, and we'll directly jump on the demo to show all the use cases. So coming to all the key features which we have in our bot. Firstly, as per the surprise element which we had to incorporate, we have added randomized snake and ladder position for every new game. So as and when a new game is invoked, like a totally random board gets generated. So apart from this, our game supports multiple players, so we are not restricting to 1 or 2 or 3 players. So if like within the Discord channel, if say for example there are 10 friends and all 10 friends want to play it, right? We can't prevent them access to the game just by restricting the team state. So we are actually encouraging everyone to play. Third is the image-based response. So instead of just having a text-based response to what's happening when we roll the dice, we have in turn put an image of the board, and the real-time position of the player is displayed as and when the dice is rolled. So that is the third feature. So coming to the fourth feature, we have a leaderboard feature incorporated. So till now, whoever has played the game, all their details will be stored, and upon putting that command on the Discord channel, we can get the leaderboard as well. Apart from this, we also have difficulty modes. So the technicality of how difficulty modes was created will be explained by my teammate later on. But we have 3 tiers of difficulty: easy, medium, and hard, based on like the mood of the player. Apart from this, we have an extra command for like command help. So in case we are not familiar with the command, so we can just put a command and get a gist of what all things could be done through our bot. So apart from this, like we have made in our best knowledge, we have tested the bot like for correctness, and it has worked. And we have kind of tried to cover all the edge cases wherein the game it should follow the concept of how this game works. So this was the about key features. Over to Prajwal.
So hello all. So I'll be explaining what are the technology stack we used in this particular game. We used Discord PY, which is an official model released by Discord in Python language. And we actually did test-driven development, which means we actually tested along we further moved with our development. So I think most cases were covered, most test cases were covered. And just one more thing, how we got to thinking like how we can implement the images and all. So when we were talking in the what to do in the plan of action, someone said, yeah, it actually came to the idea of taking a screenshot and sending the image to the Discord, as it is harder to implement a graphical user interface in Discord. So we thought to take a screenshot and send the image for every move in Discord, and the algorithm will be explained by Shreyansh. Thank you.
Okay, yeah, I'll share my screen now. Okay. Okay, let me know when you can see my screen. Can you see my screen?
Yes, it's visible. Yeah.
Okay, so this is our server only. So as you can see, our bot is online. So the first command is help me. So it basically lists all the commands that our bot supports. So the first command is new command. So this new command is used to start the bot. So Also, how the format of is it? We put an exclamation mark, new. We have to tag all the players that who wants to play, who want to play. So suppose I tag me, I tag Vishal. And next command is the difficulty. It's an integer from range 1 to 3. So how difficulty is implemented is basically, suppose that difficulty is 1, means it's the lowest difficulty. So it basically means that in the game there will be more number of ladders and less number of snakes. The medium, that is 2, means there will be equal amount of snakes or ladder, or the amount will be close enough. And hard means that the snakes would be higher than the ladders. So also, if we don't pass a command, if we don't add an integer at the end of the player list, the difficulty by default is medium. So if I don't do anything, the difficulty is medium. So okay, now I'll start the game. So as you can see, the first thing that happens is we shuffle the place. So we don't want to start the game as like in the same order that we start the list. So yeah, we shuffle the names first, and then we start the game turn by turn. So now about the randomized algorithm. Okay, so what we do is, so now that we have the number of snakes and ladders from the difficulty level, what we can do is, the first thing we do is we generate the number of ladders. Now how we do is we first use the source point, and then according to the constraints that the row of the source point should be lower than the destination point of a ladder. According to those constraints, we generate suppose n number of ladders, and then after we have generated the ladders, then we generate the snakes. So now the only, I think, the constraint for the snake and ladders was that the head of the snake should not coincide with the head of the ladder. So that according with the few other regular constraints, we generate the snakes as well. So yeah, so now I can actually show how it works. So to roll a dice, as you can see, it's my turn. I'll roll the dice. So it says I rolled 3. Okay, so as you can see, this is how our board looks like now. I'm player 1, as you can see, and Vishal is player 2. So now, okay, now it's Vishal's turn. Now, if suppose if I roll first, okay, he rolled. So yeah, as you can see, it's 4. Now, suppose if Vishal rolls again, the bot prevents him to say like, it's my chance and you can't roll. So then I roll. Yeah. Also, yeah, I forgot to put here. So the green part says it's a ladder. So as you can see, it leads to column 0 and row 3. So it's a really huge ladder. It leads to directly this point. And the red cell means it's a snake. So suppose this snake, it leads from it's lead to column 6 and 2. So yeah, it's just a row below. So it's not a bad. So yeah, also apart from this, we have our leaderboard feature. So we can get the leaderboard from command get leaderboard. Yeah. So as you can see, okay, so constantly all the wins and losses of all the players are same. So yeah, now because only 3 players are on the servers, so only 3 players are on the leaderboard. So yeah. Yeah, so now we can continue playing till someone wins. Yeah, but it's going to be a long game. So yeah, so I think we are open to any questions now.
Can you guys invite this bot onto the SSAT server and play it there, the IEEE server?
Yeah. Okay, yeah, we'll do that.
Okay.
Do they have access, Sanket?
Yeah, whoever was nominated as the team
Yeah,
leader,
Vishal,
I have
that should
given
have access.
mod.
Just a second, I'll do it.
Okay, maybe while you're doing it, I have some questions for you.
Yeah.
Okay, so for the for the creation of your snakes and ladders, what algorithm have you used and why?
Yeah, okay, for the randomized board generator, right?
Uh-huh.
So okay, yeah, yes. So I told that we first generate the ladders. So the number of ladders and snake we have from the difficulty level. So now that we have the number of ladders, for what we do for ladders is we first pick a start point. Now the basic constraints are the start point can't be at the starting position or at the last row. So now that we have the source point of the ladder, we then pick up the destination point of the ladder. So now that the basic constraint is the destination should be up above the source point. So using these constraints, we generate all the ladders. Now we generate the snakes. So now similar for snakes, like the algorithm that the head of the snake should be above the tail of the snake, and the head or tail should not. So the head should not coincide with the end, and it should not be in the bottommost row. Also, the head of the snake should not coincide with the bottom of the ladder. So yeah, that's the algorithm for basically randomized generation of the board.
If I told you that, just a challenge, I mean, I just want to know your thinking process. What I told you that I like these red boxes, I like these green boxes, but what
Mhm.
if I told you I have to place a ladder and a snake? How will you do that?
Yeah. Okay. So we are. So okay. So uh, okay. Okay. Now suppose we have this window, right? So we have the dimensions of this window.
Uh-huh.
So using as this board is 10 cross 10, so we can get index. So we can get basically uh, the bottom left and the top right. Yeah, like the basically index of the pixels of the top left and the border of a particular cell. So using that we can get basically the middle of each cell. So so we know the source and the destination. So what we can do is we can put an image of suppose ladder from that source pixel to that destination pixel. So yeah, so now for that we'll have to handle the basically the length of the ladder. So we'll have to suppose we first calculate the distance from the source and from the source to destination. Then according to that we scale the ladder. Then we basically place the ladder between the source and destination target. But yeah, we
So in
didn't
this,
do that because the board
yeah,
was slower.
so in this case, what you have done, as I understand, is the black and white chessboard type of an configuration is something like a base model, and on top of that,
Yeah,
you are placing
yeah,
the red and green boxes.
yeah. So basically, green are the bottom of the ladder and red are the head of the snakes.
Mhm, mhm. Can a head of a snake coincide with the end of a ladder? End as in the top
No,
part of the
no.
ladder.
Okay, so wait, can you say that condition again?
So basically, if you are going from point A to point B in a ladder,
Yeah,
can't a snake's head be there at point B?
yeah, it can be. So basically, it's your luck. So your luck is bad. It can be. We have made the arguments as that, but the
Like,
chances are low. But it can be.
but we have made
Okay,
sure that from one point, like there won't be any type of contradiction. So from at one cell, there cannot be head of a snake and ladder at the same time. Like we have done that.
Yeah.
Like two
mhm,
choices.
mhm.
That's not allowed in the game. So we have made sure that we have taken care of that use case.
Okay, yeah. That's all from me at the moment. Judges, if you have anything.
Hey folks. So you have a difficulty setting, right? How do you
Yeah.
decide on how many ladders, or like is this a fixed number that if I pick, let's
I
say,
can actually
medium,
show you. Let me
so
see. Yeah, I can actually show you that.
sure.
Uh, okay, where was it? Oh, yeah. One second. Yeah. Okay. So the difficulty means it's easy. So number of snakes should be in range 3 to 5. Ladders should be in range 5 to 10. If the difficulty is 2, it means it's medium. So snakes snakes and ladders should be named force and both, and else the if the difficulty is if you give an integer like greater than 2, then it means it's hard.
Cool.
So the number of snakes should be from 6 to 9 and ladders should be 3 to 5.
Right. Cool.
Yeah.
And one more thing is you have like a leaderboard, right? But I see like multiple wins. It's not like just for the game that you're playing at the moment. So is it like
Yeah,
stored
it's like
somewhere? Like
yeah, it's complete history. So we could have stored it into a, like a some database now, but
mhm.
like because it's really simple and the basically the file doesn't take a lot of space, so we just decided to use the CSV instead. So we are storing the leaderboard in form of a CSV file.
Can I see that CSV once? Also,
Yeah,
like, where have you, is this bot hosted? Because a bunch of these temporary hosting services wipe out your code and then put it back again. So any changes you make to those files, like, go away as well. Where have you hosted this?
it's not hosted yet.
Okay, it's
But as of now,
locally you do.
yes,
Oh,
sir.
got it. Okay, cool.
So basically, this is basically the player ID, so that we can actually mention the player when
Right,
we
right.
put a Discord. Yeah.
What happens if like people leave a game in between? So they'll have to finish it before the next one comes up, and also then only the
Yeah,
leaderboard gets updated, I guess.
yeah, they'll have to finish.
Okay, so there's not a way to like abort a game. Ki, hey, suddenly something came up and I wanna abort this game.
Yeah, sadly no.
Okay, cool. Thanks. That
Also one thing that
sure,
once
sure.
the game ends, we can directly start another game. So yeah, so like we
So
can
you
keep
can
it
have multiple games
continuously.
at the same time.
No, uh, after one game's end,
Mm-hmm.
so like we can directly start another game. Like that was one problem that we were having from quite a while, and yeah,
Oh, got it.
that's something that we.
Thanks. Those are all the questions for me.
Hi guys, I just have one question. So, there is no limit for users who can play this game, right? So, what if 250 players want to play this game, and like, will it be able to handle that scenario?
Sir, like what
Like
we have tested the game on like 5 to 6 people, but our main motive, like as you told, I agree with that, sir. Sir, in terms of handling the number of people at a time, but our motive was like if there are a set of friends in a channel who want to play the game, and no one should be like left out if we set a limit or something. That was our motive. But again, like we have tested it for 5 to 6 people, but very sure about 250.
okay, okay.
Yes.
For the time complexity wise, like it won't be a problem because it's I think the it runs in so one move takes who in time. So like it won't matter if there are even 1,000 people. But the thing is, if 1,000 people want to play, then it's their choice. They can play, but it's their choice. So they'll have to know that the wait time would be large. So yeah, it's on them. But they can play if they want.
I feel that maybe because you don't have any limits in the users
Mhm.
who are playing it, it actually compromises your stability. Um, because for an example, from the board which I see in front of my eyes, how do
Mhm.
you, if I'm going to give you even 10 players, how are you going to plot those 10 players in this particular chessboard or the snakes and ladders board? You don't have pixels, you don't have place, right? How are you going to represent
Yeah.
10 players? Mhm.
Uh, yeah,
So,
actually.
yeah, I think since you don't have a fall safe, breaking this board is very easy.
Mhm.
Because, yeah, I feel that at the max to max, you can maybe accommodate 6 players in one box, looking at the pixel sizes.
Okay.
But yeah, more than 6 players will become a challenge for you, put in the same place.
Okay.
So
So
yeah,
okay. So right
yeah,
now, what happening is the basically the number of players that can take part depends on the number of colors we input. So right now, as you can see, we actually have just 6 players. So we have just 6 colors, so a maximum 6 people can play. But
Oh,
yeah, so now if you want to expand, we can add a random color generator and do that. But yeah, so right now 6 people is the limit.
yeah, no, you can use a random color generator. That is not the
Yeah.
problem. The problem is how do you place those colors in your board?
Yeah,
You
yeah,
don't have
yeah,
space,
yeah,
right?
I understand.
Hmm?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it at a place 0, 1, 2, 3 at the max you can have 6 people, considering that you
Hmm.
divide the square into two parts.
Hmm.
Um, so I think I think what you guys have done uh, should have been done by the other team because they were using the text orientation. They had the freedom to do it even up to 500 players, and you should have somehow restricted the players to maybe 4 or 5 or 6 in the matter, so that you are easily able to represent, you know, all the players. And also, I think as one of the judges had mentioned, if I'm trying to abort the game, then how does it happen? What are the scenarios? So, for an example, you and your friend are playing a game, and suddenly
Hmm.
I want to, mess with you. Can I just start a new game so your game will be lost?
No, you can't start new game if our game's running.
And if one of you leaves, then how does it decide?
So if you leave, so you can't do anything. You actually have to finish the game in order to start a new game. So
But how
yeah.
do I finish? So if there are player one and player two has lost his internet connection, and
Mhm.
player one is playing the game. So basically, at that point, your bot is stuck because the bot is accepting an input from player two, and player two is offline. Now, how do I close the game?
Yeah, we'll have to like close the entire game itself.
So
So the
that has
leaderboard
to be
won't.
done. So that has to be done. Maybe you have to get the bot offline and online again.
Yeah.
So it's a complete crash in that case.
Yeah.
Got it. Got it. Got it. Okay. Thank you. You guys, I mean, don't get me wrong, you guys really did a good job, but because you were using a graphical representation,
Hmm.
because it takes more load on the chat, you should have thought about some more fall safes, specifically because you guys were, as one of your members said, that you were doing test-driven development. Also, a suggestion for you, I saw your Git files. Do not use separate PY files to test your applications. And if you do, there is a package called as unit tests in Python. Use that. That is the perfect way to run your test cases, and it works wonders. Kudos to you. Well done. Thank you.
Thanks,
Okay.
sir.
Thanks.
Shreyas, like, can you once, I think as a part of this game, we had to show it on SCT server. So I've already added the bot on SCT server. Can you once present it? If it's all right.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. On SCT server, this bot is on.
Okay.
I think the two bots are clashing here.
Yeah.
Hey guys, just one question that came up. What happens if two players are on the same tile? How, like, do you place player one and player two on the same tile, or does it overlap because the positions are on the same place, right?
Yeah. Yeah. So that's one thing that we didn't handle. Like, if it's overlap, only one player is visible.
Okay, cool. Thanks. Although technically, just as a feedback, you don't really need to do that. You can just get everyone's position and put a player one comma player two thing there. So
Yeah,
it's not
yeah.
really a matter of different colors, honestly, right? You don't need to like to represent them all with different colors. Cool. Yeah. Thanks.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, team. So, last call for second team, Spooky Snakebot. Is the presenter here yet? Last call for second team, Spooky Snakebot. Yeah, I guess the team is not here. So, thank you, team. Thank you, judges. Over to you, Chaitanya.
I thank all the participants for giving insightful presentations and for taking keen interest for participating in the event. And I thank all the judges for your valuable time. Now, I would like to ask the judges if they have any feedback for the participants or any suggestions for the participants.
Yeah, from my side, yes. So, guys, as Team Hydra, I really impressed by their simplicity and restriction and the way they have designed the application. But in a case of usability and interface and all, the team Moksha Patra is really did well, but they have failed to address some issues which might be occurred if team size or players gets increased by time. So again, this is for both guys who have did a really great job first of all, and I personally like the both. And I just want from you both that any server and let us know that how can we use and how we can improve that bot by time if possible. And just this is for just a team Moksha Patra, guys. When you are developing something, you must like a few scenarios because you cannot build a game for everyone and like anyone. You have to restrict in some areas that yeah, these are the limits, and beyond that we are not going to allow anyone, and this is the limit. So this is just from my side, and technically both uh, both of your teams have did really well, and I wish like make more such boats or useful boats in future. Yeah, that's it. Thanks, Chaitanya, for allowing me to speak.
Thank you, sir. Ayush, sir, do you have anything to
Yeah. I mean, yeah, as the other guy said, it's a really nice effort by both teams. I like really like the fact that even like Mokshpat implemented a graphical aspect to it, right? Because the generation that we are in is more of a graphical generation. We like to see things. But that being said, it's nothing to take away from Hydra as well. Like text-based games have always been there and still are. I would just suggest you folks like you've made something, right? So don't just leave it here. Try to finish it off. There were some feedback from the judges. You would eventually realize some of them by yourself. So improve that, finish it off, like make it a proper project, and then like publish it or like just share it with people, right? That's the whole point of doing an open source thing where the organizers have asked you to like put it on GitHub, and you've already put in the hard work. Like the majority of the work is done. So I would suggest you guys finish it off, take in feedback that has been given to you, and just make those slight minor changes. And perhaps you can take it up as like a thing. You could make a repository of games. I don't know, whatever interests you. But like Discord is a really interesting place, right? It has communities not just for gaming at this point, even though that's what its primary community is supposed to be, but a lot of conferences that like hold them, have their own servers for people to connect, chat, and get together and everything. So you can think of different use cases where people would just like love to like just get your bot on their server and use them, right? Not just like for your own personal stuff. That's all. That's always fun, but after a point you'll realize, I mean, how powerful open source is if you just do it the right way, put in the right files. Like it's there was one of the judges were talking about unit test, right? So putting those things in place, people would allow people to like fearlessly commit or add to your code, and they'll be able to get feedback right away, and they might be able to like add features that you find a little difficult, and then it could be a mutual learning experience between folks. So yeah, just take it with a, I guess, pinch of salt, all the feedback, and continue improving. There's a lot of great many things to do. Thanks guys for like having me here as well.
Thank you, Ayush. Moinam Chatterjee, sir, do you have anything to say?
Thanks for using my full name. I like hearing Moinam Chatterjee. But other than that, again, kudos to all of you. I think it was really great seeing these projects. It was only two, but both of the projects are really nice. Um, Normally, in terms of the human interaction with any product, any item, from my um, from my experience, I have always felt that any graphical representation makes it more interesting. But as the graphical presentation makes it more interesting for the users to use, it makes it that much challenging for the developers to maintain. And Moxpap, you guys did a good job in trying to keep the graphical representation for your users. But since you had the design thinking in your mind that you wanted to have testing, so I think you should have placed a better, you know, failure case or done something out there, because you had already done testing and you were looking in that sort also. But other than that, great. Snakes and Ladder, both the teams did what the chatbot was intended to do. One stability was compromised, the another one, because the features were reduced, the stability was maintained at the highest level. So kudos to all of you. Well done. And but I think also one more thing. A lot of people, I mean, I have been seeing it for the past 2 to 3 years, attending so many webinars and so going in so many events, or conducting so many webinars, that a lot of people have an affinity to Python. I understand Python is a very easy language to learn, and it is very easier to start working on your applications. But please do not restrict yourself to only a scripting language. I request all of you, whoever are there, all the students, that please go through the OOPS concepts, go through, languages like C++ or C Sharp or Java, because all this, programming languages, even if you don't use it, the concepts don't go away. The concepts are carried forward everywhere. Even for the chat, even for the bots which you have created in Discord, majority of, I mean, both the bots, they were not using any dedicated ML or NLP processing algorithms. And I feel that if you would have done the same maybe in Java, you might have got a bit more control on the bot, and you could have done a bit, you could have done a lot more. Um, just switching from Python to Java. So Python is not a necessity for everywhere. Understand what language is to be used for what type of an application, and then start your hackathon, because choosing the right language in the start makes a very big difference on bigger hackathons. So well done, everyone. Kudos to all. Thank you. And yep, over to the hosts.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, judges, for all your insights and suggestions. Now, I would like to ask the teams about how they felt and how their experience was, and what all new did they learn when they were trying to build a boat. Over to your team, Hydra.
It was
Thank you
fun
for giving this opportunity. Yeah, I think we actually had a very good experience building this bot. Like the idea was creative, and now we could even use the bot like for our personal use and share it with friends as well. Like as one of the judges said, we would obviously keep improving it and using it ourselves. Thank you.
Thank you, Team Hydra. Can Team Mokshapat also share their views about the event?
Yep. Thank you, Chaitanya. So, firstly, I'd like to thank the entire organizing team, IEEE Bangalore section, for conducting this event. Like, I think this was the first hackathon wherein we got to build a bot. Like, just to share our experience, like out of three of us, two of us were like not at all good with implementing a bot. Like, we learned along with once the hackathon started. So that was a great experience for us, like the entire learning process. So apart from this, like we also in future we'll take into consideration the feedback provided by judges, like when it comes to handling different use cases and being a bit extra careful. So yeah, it was a great and insightful opportunity. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Vishal. That was really motivating. Now let's move on to the results. Over to you, Deekshita.
Yeah, so here comes the moment, and the winner is Team Mokshapat, and the runner-up is Team Hydra. Congratulations, winners. I hope you got to take away a lot from this event.
I thank all the participants for showing the keen interest and participating for the event, and congratulations to the winners. And thank you for the judges for your valuable time and for shedding some light on how to make boards, and for all your valuable suggestions and for encouraging students to make more of such useful boards. Now, before we conclude our event, we have a small token of appreciation for all our judges. So first, we have our small token of appreciation for Ankit Kumar Singh, sir. I request Deekshita to present the virtual plaque. Thank you for joining us, sir. Next, we have a small token of appreciation for Ayush Priya, sir. I request Deekshita to present the virtual plaque, and thank you, sir, for giving your precious time.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you, sir. At last, we have a small token of appreciation for Moinam Chatterjee, sir. I request Deekshita to present the virtual plaque, and thank you for joining us and for your valuable insights, sir.
It is a great pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. So before leaving, I would like to thank everyone for attending and participating in today's event. And thank you, everyone. So everybody may leave the meeting now. Thanks a lot.
Thanks everyone. Have a great day.
Thanks,
Thank you,
everyone.
sir.
Have a great day. Keep programming. Bye bye.
Bye-bye, folks. Thanks.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you all.
The recording.